talking a bit behind closed doors. It's the Bulldogs getting absolutely trounced by the Seagulls. It was 31-6. Serrato's debut competition game, obviously with the Bulldogs. Man, I don't know if Manly are really good, or I don't know if the Bulldogs are really shit, but I mean, it makes me happy that I did have Manly inside my top 8. But again, what was your thoughts on this game? We saw them win the preseason cup. They've come out, they've trounced the Bulldogs. We always said it's going to take the Dogs 5-10 rounds, maybe even a year to get these combinations sorted. But did you expect better than 31-6?
Of course. I expected every game to be between 1 and 12, which, apart from this game, was. They looked good in periods. Again, individual efforts were good, but that doesn't win your games. Kyle Flanagan looked good at 7. His pass options were okay. Burn doing Burn things, Foxy as well, but I think they were just, as you said, a little bit combinations. It's taken a little bit to get the gel, and the only way you can do that is by getting out on the park, and you can't just do that at a training session because it's just too easy. There's no pressure. There's no opposition crowd to sort of jeer at you when you drop a ball, because at training you drop a ball, well, let's start again. There's no cheers and boos and whistles and whatnot. You got to be ready for that. And the Manly faithful would always give it to anybody when it comes to playing against their beloved club. But Anthony Seibold, he's a masterclass at PowerPoint, and he's good at his presentations. Tommy looked good at fullback. You could see there was moments of the game before he got taken off that he could have. There was runs or whatnot. He had the ball, and you could see that he thought about being the Tommy of old, where he'd just go out and do it and give his 110%. But he sort of pulled back on a bit, and I think that's a smart option, given with his hamstrings, and he gets to put his feet up for this weekend, which is a good. When they were leading at that stage, they took him off. It was good to see that they didn't leave him out there and be prone to another injury mistake. But Dogs looked, for the most part, calm, being under pressure, being behind. They didn't sort of crack and fold and just sort of not give up and just be out there for the sake of being out there. Manly, they moved sideline to sideline, which was good. DCE and John's there. No Schuster, obviously. But maybe, as you said, Cameron Serrato needs another 5 more games to get this squad gelling together, and they could be a powerhouse. But that is for time, and we will wait and see.
Yeah, I think you summed up quite well. Tom Trbojevic, like you said, it was pretty strange to see him pull back and not really explode. So obviously it is still causing him issues. My only concern then is if you're mentally not ready to go 100%, like there was a few times, like you said, he went to take off and then kind of went back into a jog. So if you're not mentally there yet, obviously this bye round could be the perfect way to get in there. But
I don't see it as a mentally preparing. I think it's more of realizing I don't need to do that. I don't need to bust holes and run 100 miles an hour. I can, maybe take the ball to the line and pass to someone else who's got better hammies than me. I think it's more of he's now just sort of thought about it than saving his legs. Maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right and you're wrong. Or maybe we're both right.
The best fullbacks we talk about in the game, Tedesco, Dylan Edwards, Trbojevic before he got injured, you need to be explosive. If you are not explosive as a fullback, if you're not taking on the line, if you're not going through the gaps, Latrell Mitchell, everyone like that, you're not going to be the best fullback. And obviously, yes, 31-6, take it with a grain of salt. He got on the score sheet. He got an assist, I'm pretty sure, as well, a try assist. But to me, these next 2 games, Parramatta and obviously the Rabbitohs, when he does come back from the bye round, if he's not going 100%, he's not going to get as much time and space to throw that ball around like he did here. But time will tell. Massive win for the Eagles. Massive defeat from the Bulldogs. But obviously it is only round 1, so both teams don't get too excited, because Manly fans, you'll probably be selling your grand final tickets for cheap in about 25 rounds. But moving on to your boys, they went ahead. They got pulled back. They slotted the winning field goal. They survived the scare. Let's be honest. It was a fucking terrifying scare here. 19-18 Raiders take the L. Talk to me about this. And obviously, again, more HIA issues where Ricky Stewart was not happy with, I think it was Sebastian Chris that had to come off.
We look good. I'll say that. I didn't really have the game on. I had company over, so I didn't get to really watch this game in more detail than other games. But we look good in the most part. And then when we got it in front, I think we sort of were a bit foolish and we sort of passed around like the Kyle Felt incident. We take a short drop out. Kyle Felt comes in, the ball gets knocked back, his wings open, so they score a try and Jack won. We're that far. We're in front by that much. How about we just knock it downfield, 50-yard drop out and defend out there instead of conceding a legal try. Again, I can't even blame it on new people because this is one of the least changed teams in the NRL side. So, I think it's just more we got a bit too cocky. We're up. We wanted to play that sideline football and throw it around. And I think Raiders has caught us at a good time and were unlucky to get away with a win. Again, Ricky put up some good points. I agree with some. Imagine if this wasn't the hot day that we were expecting, which happened the day before where the humidity was high, the temperature was high. Maybe the NRL need to look at this, or the Cowboys, not try and favour them, but I know you and me, I wouldn't want to play on a 4:30 afternoon where the humidity is 110% or whatnot, and you're just dying out there with 10 minutes on the clock. So they got away with it that way. The HIA was, again, like Ponga, club doctor pulled it up. It had to be taken off. It is what it is. It's not much more I can say about it because, yes, it looked soft, but as the NRL, I stand with the NRL and say I side on the side of caution, and that's what they did. And I'm glad we just got away with the win. Again, I didn't watch this game too much, just sort of heard about it, but Raiders unlucky, Cowboys lucky, and we'll just keep those 2 points.
Well, there you heard it. If he ever talks shit about how good the Cowboys are, first game of the season and he barely watched it. I was up in Broke in the Hunter Valley. I barely had one bar of reception, and I still found a way to watch this game. So make it as you will. But obviously, like you said, the Cowboys, they get away with one. I don't know how they fix the humidity purely because you can't give them, say, every night game because then you're not taking into consideration. Look at the weather we had in Sydney the last 2 days. Imagine if you had to play in 41-degree heat on a Friday night in Parramatta. So it is a tough one. I'm sure the NRL will act. Maybe if it's over, say, 35 degrees, you get an extra substitution. Maybe something like that, something that can fix it. But I think in the end, if you're paying me that much money per year, I'm probably just going to put up with it. And if I'm tired, and I'll keep playing. So moving on to a game that obviously was the pinnacle game of round one when it was released. It was a game that everyone was looking forward to. It was the Rabbitohs running away 27-18 against the Sharks. Now, obviously, the big talking points out of this game, Nicho Hynes did not play. I think that's a major thing. He is going to be out for a few more weeks. So it'll be interesting to see how the Sharks do go there. Obviously, Latrell Mitchell from the Rabbitohs did go down with what they're saying is a PCL injury. It looked pretty bad. We all thought it was an ACL. We feared the worst, but he did get back up. He did finish the game. He has been named this week. So it'll be interesting to see if he does stay in that position or if he is rested. And obviously the major talking point that came out today, Graham has got 4 weeks for his hit in this game. It was 3. They challenged it. They lost. It's gone to 4. But for me, if I'm Craig Fitzgibbon, I'm probably taking more positives out of this game than what I am if I'm a Rabbitohs head coach because I didn't have Nicho Hynes. My main fullback's injured. Obviously, he's out. We've come in. We've challenged up until 15 minutes to go. We were right in the contest. You throw Nico Hines in there, he's probably worth 8 points in this game. But for the Rabbitohs, they stayed obviously structured. They played to their style. I don't know who they've paid because now I'm pretty sure they take on fucking Melbourne Storm with no Cameron Munster. So
Yep.
fair play to them. Oh, sorry, they take on Penrith. Sorry, they take on Penrith next. So we'll see how they do go. But what did you make of this game? Is this a good? Obviously, it's a good win for the Rabbitohs, but is it a bad loss for the Sharks, or is it? Listen, you're missing players. Move on.
Both teams were missing players. Sharks were missing players before the game, and then Rabbitohs, I think it was about 15 to 20 minutes in, lost 2 players, one to a HIA and JR to a hamstring injury. So they were reduced to 15 players for the rest of the game. Jason Demetrio, the South Sydney Rabbitohs coach, again, I think he came out and he said it was a good thing that we didn't have a lot of change in the off-season. He stuck to his guns with youth. Either team, positives and negatives out of this. Both teams walk away looking at this as a positive. You say Sharks didn't have their starting fullback. Will Kennedy is their main fullback player. They didn't have Nico Hines. Yes, he might have been an 8-point player there and he might have changed the game. But as you said, Wade Graham gets 4 matches. He should have just taken 3. His first sin binning of all his 240 games. Was sort of a momentum change because he sort of come out of the line, did the hit. No one really sort of carried on with it at the time until later on, and then he got sent for 10. Excuse me, I'm just having some burping issues at the moment, but case given, yeah, you take what you can from it. You know, no Nico Hines. You know, you're down Wade Graham. I don't know who they have up and coming. I haven't really looked at their lineup at the moment, but it is what it is. Yeah, it was a good game all around, and you just have to take the positives. There was no real negatives out of this game.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, we'll see a bit more over the next couple of weeks what they're made of. They play Parramatta this week, and then they go to the Capital and take on the Raiders. So we know how tough it can be to win a game at the Capital. They're probably playing them at probably a good time when it's not going to be -10, -15. So like I said, they'll play the Eels this Friday at Parramatta, and then they'll obviously take on the Raiders. So for the Sharks, it's a bit 50-50. We'll see how it goes. For the Rabbitohs, obviously they go against Penrith. They're out for revenge. It's always going to be a revenge game. Penrith are looking to bounce back. The Rabbits are looking to continue and get revenge for that final, but they then obviously go against the Roosters. So both these sides are going to be tested over the next couple of weeks. We'll probably know more by about round 4 or 5 where both of these teams are. But talking about